Hey my friend, in this video I want to share the most crucial part about psychedelic integration. Namely, it is taking action. It is taking action right now. That's what we're going to talk about and how to simply do that. Because when we go into psychedelic journeys, oftentimes we go in and we have this expanded state experience. And insights are flowing in. We're like almost can't keep up with the insights and the overwhelming realizations that we are receiving in the psychedelic experience. We're like, this is what I need to integrate. This is what I need to integrate. This is what I've realized. And now I understand this about reality. And these insights keep pouring in, right? And there's almost like a tendency for us to just keep gathering more and more insights. But where the real work lies is that we transform these insights into action, that we integrate them and implement these realizations in our daily life. And this is what I want to talk about today. And I want to give you a very simple framework to actually follow up and do this most crucial part of psychedelic integration, which is to take action. Simply take action. Hey, I'm Virgo and this is Psychedelic Actualization. I love to help people integrate their psychedelic experiences to transform their life. And we're having a community in the Psychedelic Actualization Path to Purpose community. You're warmly invited if you're curious to join a group of like-minded people who are walking this path of psychedelic integration together. Also, if you're interested about the 5 steps to embody and integrate your psychedelic insights into daily life, I wrote a free guide that's for you to download. Link is in the video description. So, when I remember my first psychedelic experiences, when I started on this journey of what I would call psychedelic actualization, utilizing psychedelic experiences for my own self-actualization and self-realization, I've noticed one key thing, which was daunting and which was hard to come to terms with. It is that in psychedelic space I have received some insights or some lessons or some realizations which I knew I wanted to integrate. I knew I wanted to change my behavior. But then after the trip was over, after I came out of the psychedelic state of consciousness into my ordinary state again, I was falling back into old behaviors, into old habits. I was playing video games, I was not communicating properly with my partner, I was not kind to my parents. These kinds of things were not aligned with what I received in the psychedelic insights. Right? There was a desire coming up for me to start a meditation practice and actually go on this path of spiritual realization and implement a daily practice. But I wasn't able to do it. But why wasn't I able to do it? Why wasn't I able to just take the action and really step on this path of actualization, realization that the psychedelics inspired me to? And it's a good question, it's a very good question on why we can't do that. But what I have come to appreciate and realize over the years, and this is where this topic of this video is coming in, that the why is not even really that important. Our search for the why is basically the attachment for our mind to understand. Why can't I do that? Why can't I do that? And then we're again in the search of the why, in the search of understanding, in the search of more intellectual engagement on our path. But the solution, the simple solution, which might not be that easy to implement all the times, which I have found, is to simply take action. Okay? So simply taking action, what does that even mean? And how can we start to simply take action? For example, in the psychedelic experience, there's a lot of insights that are pouring in at times. What I have found has helped me to actually take action on these insights is to not overwhelm myself. So when there's these big openings and all these insights and realizations and things to do, what has helped me is to just choose one. To start small and say like, okay, what of these insights, which of these realizations feels most relevant for me right now? And then this little piece, right, if it's implementing a meditation practice or if it's communicating more honestly with my partner or if it's to develop and heal that relationship with my parents. Just choose one of these. And then you can pick this and really see what is one tangible action step that I can take right now to implement and integrate the insight in that area into my daily life. And then you might say, okay, which I did as well, I want to meditate 1 to 2 hours a day because I want to reach this psychedelic state of consciousness in my ordinary life. Hold on a second, right? I have found that this, again, was leading to a sense of overwhelm. I was taking on too much for me at the moment. Even though it was beautiful to follow up on a 60-day, 90-day, 1-hour meditation challenge, I have come to appreciate and realize that we each of us has to go in our own pace. We got to be a little bit patient with ourselves and adjust our integration in action steps to our state of being. To say like, okay, hey, maybe just meditating, starting to meditate 5 minutes a day. Or even just taking 5 deep breaths in the morning after I wake up. Can I do that? How doable, how achievable does that feel for me? And for me, I found that this is actually much easier, right? It's like, of course I can take 5 conscious deep breaths in the morning instead of meditating and sitting down for 1 hour. But then you're actually doing it. And that's the key part of this crucial topic of simply taking action. You are actually taking action. You're not overwhelmed or thinking about, I have to meditate 1 hour a day. I have to do these big tasks and integrate these big realizations. No, you're breaking it down to a very achievable, doable action step that is possible for you to do on a daily basis. And then when you're starting to do that, when you're starting to take that action, I found that there is a certain momentum that is building. And that's basically what we want. This sense of momentum that is building when you actually simply just to start to take action gets you rolling into a very energized, empowered state of being. There's a sense of empowerment and a sense of confidence that is developing within yourself. Which brings me to the second point of this video, which is to trust yourself. A big part of taking action, simply taking action on your realizations is 1, get clarity around what action you want to take, and then step 2, trust yourself a little bit more. That's actually what the psychedelics are teaching me a lot of the times. It's that even though I might want to believe that I'm this small being and the world outside is so harsh and it's so difficult and everything is against me and everything is so hard and I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy enough of that success and the life that I imagine myself to be living, the fuel of taking action has to be a certain sense of courage. It has to be a certain sense of trust in yourself. And I can just say to you that I found that you can trust yourself a little bit more than you think you can. And that trust within yourself to say like, okay, this action step, maybe it's trying out a new passion, or maybe it's going into this new job, or going out into a community of like-minded people where you don't know anybody and it's a bit scary to go out and socialize and put yourself out there and be a little bit vulnerable. These action steps are fueled by that trust, this trust and this courage to take that jump into the unknown, take that jump into the cold water, is what's necessary, it's what's needed for you to hump over, to take that leap. Otherwise, what's the alternative? We're circling back within our minds, within our thoughts, within our doubts to say, can I really do this? Can't I? What would happen if? And so on and so on. And then we're like, maybe I just need another realization. Maybe I just need another psychedelic experience to build up that trust. Again, if that's the case, that's fine. That's your path. That's your pace. That's your natural pace of unfoldment, which you got to be patient with and accepting of. But really, that part of integration is, I found, to, at one point or another, just take that step. Step up, trust yourself, empower yourself, and put yourself out there. Take that action step. Even though all these thoughts are present. Oh, I can't meditate. Or I can't have that honest conversation. Oh, my parents are this and that. Or I can't, right? Take it despite these thoughts. You're like, I know I can acknowledge and appreciate these thoughts, but I'm going to take that action anyway. I'm going to jump into the unknown. Just as I have been jumping into the unknown to step into the psychedelic space, I'm jumping into the unknown to trust myself and take that action in the real world. So that's the second part of that integration. And the third part, and that's the secret, ready for that, is that there is no secret. That's it. These two parts are all that there is to it. Simply take action. Don't overcomplicate it. That's why I value simplicity, to break everything really down to this simplest essence. Simply take action and trust yourself. I know you can do it. And if you want support regarding finding out what kind of actions to take, or you want a group of support which is empowering you to actually take that jump, hold you accountable on your path of psychedelic integration, on your path to realize and actualize your life purpose, or maybe even to find that vision and get clear around that direction that you want to take in and that life is calling you to, then you're again warmly invited into the Psychedelic Actualization Path to Purpose community, where we come together and we empower each other on this path of actualization. It's a wonderful space to be. We come together and we talk and we find that clarity. And then in between these talks, there's going to be action that is happening, because that action that only you can take is taking you to create the life of your choosing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you got some value out of this. And let's go. Let's do this.